Tesla finally announced all their changes for the Model S and Model X lineup, all the ones that we've been waiting for, and I am super excited to talk about them with you guys, even though I just got my Model 3 and I have no plans of getting a Model S or X in the near future. Let's jump right into it. Let's go to the computer and talk about everything that's new. So let's start with the Model S and then we'll go on to the Model X. There's a lot of similarities between the changes between the two, so I'll just try to keep it as concise as I possibly can. So with the Model S here, on the outside, there's not really that many changes that I could tell. The body looks slightly different. I don't know if that's just me in my head, but the one obvious thing is that we now have the matte black trims around. But honestly, I think the body for the most part looks the same. Let's talk about the pricing here, and then we'll get into the interior and everything else that's new. The long range actually went up in price, so from what used to be $69,000 to now $79,000. The Plaid, so what used to be the Performance, also went up in price by a lot actually. So it used to be $92,000, now it's $120,000, so that's an almost $30,000 difference there. But again, you do get a lot for it. So for one, let's start with the long range. Your 0 to 60 is a bit faster now, from 3.7 to 3.1 seconds. Top speed is around the same, and you get slightly more range at 412 versus 402. The Plaid, again, what used to be the Performance here, got a pretty massive performance boost here, so under 2 seconds, which is absolutely insane. This is supposed to be the fastest production car out, and then a 200-mile-an-hour top speed, which used to be, let's see here, 163 miles for the Performance originally, so that's also a pretty big difference. Not that you're going to be using it a lot unless you take it to the track. And then the range also got a boost, 390 from 387, so again, not that big of a deal. Plaid Plus, this is originally what was the Plaid that was announced at Battery Day. This is still supposed to come out late 2021 versus the regular Plaid and long range are supposed to come out in March at the end of this quarter. So the Plaid Plus still has a lot of the same stats. Under 1.99 seconds 0 to 60. It looks like we don't have the official numbers yet. It'll be interesting to see how fast it can do. So let's continue on down. You get some of the specs here if you're into that. The paint, all the colors seem to be exactly the same, including all the pricing, if I'm not wrong. The wheels are also new for the Model S. So for the baseline, you get the same 19-inch Tempest wheels, but for a $4,500 upgrade, you get the Arachnid wheels, which look sick. So let's move on to the interior. This is by far the biggest change it brought to the Model S, and it's a lot more consistent now with the Model 3 and Model Y's interiors. So you get 3 displays now. You used to have 2, but now you get the third one in the back, which is super futuristic looking, and if you have like kids or something, like they could play games in the back. The display is now horizontal versus vertical. Again, a lot more consistent with the 3 and the Y. And this is going to be super nice when we have full autonomy coming out and you can watch Netflix as you're driving, hopefully one day soon. And there's a lot more processing power too. So I'm interested to see if they're going to expand the gaming out a lot and how much they're going to focus on the Model S and Model X lineup and how many more games they're going to add. But that's interesting to see. Next up, we have the Upgrade Advanced. These are similar to the ones in the 3 and the Y, the same control. This is something that I thought the S was lacking, so very glad to see that. And now we get to the steering wheel. I feel like this has been a point of controversy, and I honestly don't know how I feel about it. I feel like they're moving more towards a sports car type of look with this steering wheel than a regular 4-door family sedan. But I mean, these cars are insanely fast now, so that's completely understandable. No stocks, that's also something a lot of people have been talking about. I'm interested to see how that plays out. I feel like there's definitely going to be a learning curve to it there, but I need to get some hands-on experience with that to be able to tell. So the audio system has been improved, and it has more speakers now, and it also has active noise canceling, so that'll be interesting. I guess you'll get a quieter interior now. That basically covers it for the S. I feel like that was a massive but much needed upgrade for the interior. I think it was severely lacking behind the 3 and the Ys, and I'm glad it has caught up and surpassed them at this point. I wish they had done something a little bit more with the exterior of the car and maybe change the design a little bit, because just like I said in my last video, this car has basically looked the same since 2012, but very much happy about the interior changes that we got and the performance changes as well. Okay, moving on to the X, it got very similar changes to the S, so the same exterior changes for the most part. So we have that satin black trims all around. We also see similar performance changes, so the 0 to 60 from 4.4 to 3.8 seconds on the long range, and on the Plaid, or what used to be the Performance, we have 2.6 seconds down to 2.5 seconds, so not as big of a difference there. Again, similar price changes as well, $10,000 for the long range, and we go up $20,000 for the Plaid here. So again, the colors here are the same, but the wheels are new. So you get the 20-inch Cyberstream wheels here included. I feel like these look very similar to how they were before, but for $5,500 you get the 22-inch turbine wheels, and I think these look gorgeous. So moving on to the interior, basically same exact changes here that we saw in the S. You still get to choose between 5, 6, and 7 seats. And that's really it for the X. Again, I really wish they'd done something a little bit more with the exterior of the car, but that's okay because I'm very happy with the interior changes, like I said before. And yeah, so for the X, you get delivery a month later than the S in April. But that covers everything. I'm super happy that we finally get to see consistency across Tesla's lineup. I feel like there were so many areas where the 3 and the Y used to be better than the S and the X, and now the S and the X have caught up and surpassed them, which they should have because they're the more premium cars. So very, very happy about all these changes. Again, I wish they just did a little bit more with the exterior of the car, but regardless, I am happy about everything, and I would love to hear what you guys think. So please let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you guys in the next video.